as fans file in to Centro Deportivo de Colectivos here for the final. Brazil and the United States for the AmeriCup. Brazilian fans have made the trip here to Santiago, Chile to see if their team could defend that trophy right there. In 2023 in Mexico, it was this matchup, Brazil and the United States in the finals, and Brazil was able to walk away with victory. We've had 3 games so far today. Mexico winning. We just saw an absolute thriller between Canada and Argentina in our 3rd place game that went to double overtime. And now we're hoping for a little bit of that to be sprinkled here on our final. Team USA being introduced to the crowd here on hand. Allow us to introduce ourselves. Carla Gay alongside Kelsey, Wright, Johnson, and KJ. Team USA, they have revenge on the mind. While it wasn't this roster, they are defending those 3 letters on their chest and hope to get back to the top of the AmeriCup mountain.
Yeah, and this is such a talented team. Each one of these players that you're seeing come onto the court is a superstar at their college, and they've come together in the last couple of weeks and put together a 6-0 record heading up against the reigning champs in Brazil.
The path for Team USA went through Chile, Colombia, Puerto Rico, Mexico, the Dominican Republic, and their toughest battle against Canada, where they were held to just 65 points, but held Canada in the 4th quarter to just 5 points. That is the reason why they are playing for gold here in Santiago. Meanwhile, Brazil will definitely have the home court advantage here in Santiago, Chile, being introduced to the crowd here. They won the AmeriCup in Mexico. They are looking to defend their title to go back-to-back here in Santiago.
Look, Brazil is the only team with a winning record against the USA in head-to-head history. They're on a 14-game winning streak here at their AmeriCups, looking to defend that title, and they've got 2 of arguably the most dominant players in this tournament in Cardoso and Damiris Dantas, who combine on average 25 points and 16 rebounds for Team Brazil.
That last AmeriCup final happened back in Mexico. A United States team that was led by Angel Reese and Rakia Jackson, who are now plying their trade in the WNBA. As Kelsey mentioned, 2 WNBA stars leaving their teams mid-season to defend the AmeriCup trophy. And Damiris Dantas, the leading scorer in the tournament, and Camila Cardoso. That's what it means to those 2 to try and lead their way for their national team here at the AmeriCup. AmeriCup goal at stake for Brazil, but also a direct ticket to the FIBA Basketball World Cup in Germany in 2026 on the line as well. Moments away from the starting lineups and tip-off, but first, the national anthems.
Y escuchamos el himno de Estados Unidos. Muchísimas gracias. Y a continuación, mismo respeto, escuchamos el himno de Brasil.
There's no better sight than seeing 12 players belt out their national anthems. That's what we just saw from the Americans and the Brazilians as they get set to do battle here for the AmeriCup in 2025. The Brazilian fans have definitely made the trip. We've seen a sprinkling of red, white, and blue throughout the crowd, and they will be vocal here tonight. Our three officials for the final here at the AmeriCup: Andres Bartel, Juan Fernandez, and Fei Xiang from Uruguay, Argentina, and Canada. Well, Team USA undefeated so far here in the AmeriCup. And their starting five will start off with Olivia Miles, Michaela Blakes, Madison Booker, Joyce Edwards, the captain, and Reagan Beers. For head coach Kara Lawson, who played in this event in '07. That was a precursor to leading her team to an Olympic gold in '08. Now trying to do it on the sidelines as a head coach, trying to reestablish the American dominance here in the Americas. On the other side for Brazil, your starting five: Bela Nascimento, who was absolutely on fire in the semifinals against Argentina from three. She'll be joined by Camila Cardoso, Dominis Dantas, Victoria Marcelino, and Alana Gonzalo, the veteran point guard for Brazil. Another American on the sidelines in this one, Pokey Chapman, the head coach of Brazil, currently the assistant general manager and assistant coach for the Seattle Storm of the WNBA. And here she is with her squad, and we'll have an opportunity to eavesdrop in to this huddle before we get things going here. There is Camila Cardoso's family, who have made the trip here to Chile to see her play. Inside of a minute before tip-off, our countdown to tip-off presented by Tissot. Kelsey, let's talk keys to the game and start with the United States.
Yeah, key for the USA is to build off what they do so well. The last two games, USA earned 48 steals, and you look over at Brazil, who are averaging 12 turnovers a game. The key for USA is to get it and go. You're averaging almost double the steals and triple the fast break points, so look to get it and go in transition for the USA.
On the other side, Brazil and their two twin towers in Dantas and Cardoso. I'm sure they're going to be circled in this one.
Yeah, I mean, the key for this one is pretty easy for Brazil, but it's dish and spray. Feed Cardoso and Dantas, get them going early on in this game. It's going to open up a lot of perimeter shots, as we saw, like you mentioned, Bela Nascimento went 6 for 7 in that semifinal game yesterday from the three-point. That's a lot of because of the presence that Dantas and Cardoso demand inside.
Cardoso and Booker will jump. We started with 10, we're down to 2. Only one will remain. Off we go here in the finals of the AmeriCup in 2025. Brazil with the first possession. Thanks for joining us wherever you are, however you're doing so. Carla Gay alongside Kelsey Wright-Johnson, courtside here in Santiago, Chile. And a first rip there by Madison Beers, or Reagan Beers, excuse me, for the Americans. Olivia Miles leading the team in assists, leading the tournament in assists per game. Turned the corner and was ripped there. Here's Bela Nascimento. Sharp shooting guard for Brazil, was on fire in the semifinals. He's a player of the game in that semifinals with 22 big points. Dominis Dantas getting in the weight room for 2.
You know, that actually started with Dantas communicating to her teammates. You can see she had the post up on her defender, and she's pointing where she wants that inbounds from. Really smart play, and you can see the experience that she brings on the offensive end.
Blakes with the float for 2 to open up the scoring for the Americans. Kayla Blakes set an SEC record with 53 points for Vandy in January, and then topped it on the road with a 55-point outburst at Auburn, as you see that triple splashed in that time by Victoria.
Yeah, and Victoria's averaging 53 points or 53%, excuse me, from the field heading into this game. So a dangerous player from all over the field.
Booker, short on the jump shot, the rebound by Edwards. She was hit, and she'll go to the line. It's the first foul on Cardoso.
That should have been part of the keys. Where the key for Team USA was to get going, but I mean, attack those two bigs that are such a pivotal piece of the offense for Brazil. An early foul there for Camila Cardoso.
Joyce Edwards averaging just under 10 points per contest, 5.3 boards. As the captain of this American squad, we saw her come alive in the college championship game against UConn, coming off the bench and absolutely dominating in that one, but couldn't get her team to win. She's one of many Gamecocks going to be featured here in this game. Camila Cardoso, former Gamecock. We also have on the bench for Brazil, Ayla McDowell, who will be joining Edwards as a teammate this season under Dawn Staley. Cardoso inside for two.
And that's just muscle memory right there. She pinned her defender on top, grabbed the lob, and as soon as she gets the ball down low, it's game over because Cardoso has the size advantage and the skill advantage. The touch around the rim is so good for Camila Cardoso.
Zalo's three off the mark. And Blakes will push the other way. Here's Booker. Beers. She'll tee up a long two. That's off. Victoria had it bang off of Edwards' shoulders. What hustle by Edwards, keeping it in play for the Americans. And Beers on the layup. Second foul for Cardoso in the game.
That could be a really big turn of events for Brazil. Two early fouls for Cardoso. There's going to be a substitution, and she's going to take a seat on the bench. And she's averaging a whole lot of minutes and a whole lot of points for this team. And you bring Mora in, who's, you know, a really good offensive player, but you're losing your second leading scorer on this team to foul trouble with just 7.5 left to go. And that's all because of the hustle of Joyce Edwards to keep it inbounds for Team USA.
Camila Cardoso averaging 14 points, 10 boards, and as Kelsey mentioned, playing 25 minutes per game. Brazil has had a lot of blowouts here in Santiago, Chile, so Cardoso has had the ability to sit a little bit, and now she'll have to sit and watch and be careful when she does come back on the floor, as she already has those two fouls. Of course, in FIBA play, 5 fouls and you're out of here. Nascimento pulls up in front of Beers. No good. Edwards pulls down the board. This is what Joyce Edwards could do. Play all 5 positions. Blakes from the 45 for 3. It's not there. Beers with a strong rebound inside. How about Reagan Beers start to this game?
You know, Beers early on was calling for the mismatch. She had Nascimento on her, but the mismatch didn't matter because as soon as they switched out, she got the defender on her back and had perfect rebounding position.
Foul called on the pass on Joyce Edwards as she goes crashing in to Dominguez Dantas. Dantas going to have to pick up the scoring, and she's been a scoring machine here in Santiago, Chile, averaging 19.2 points per game. She's going to have to pick up the scoring, and she's been a scoring machine here in Santiago, Chile, averaging 19.2 points per game. That leads all scorers in the tournament. And now Cardoso on the bench. An opportunity for her to go. Hannah Hidalgo waiting her turn to sub into this game. She was terrific in the semifinals against Canada on both ends of the floor. Dominguez Dantas working on Beers. Dantas gets fouled and she'll go to the line.
It has been such a game for the bigs to start off, and I think we knew that was coming with the firepower of Dantas and Cardoso. What it's going to take from the American bigs to get it done, and it's going to have to start with them on the defensive end, as we'll get 2 fresh bigs in to avoid foul trouble on Beers and Edwards. You get in Van Sluten and Stolke. They take a seat on the bench with 1 foul each.
So Dominguez Dantas has been absolutely terrific, pausing her WNBA season to come down here and play for the national team. The only player to appear in Olympic Games for Brazil back in 2016, still remaining on the senior national team. She averaged 16.7 boards during that run. Brazil unable to get a victory, though, at that Olympic Games. Booker missing that jump shot. Dantas able to vacuum in the rebound. Here's Nascimento. Don't want to leave her alone. Nascimento drops her first three of the evening.
We mentioned she was 6 for 7 in yesterday's semifinal game, and coming into this one, she's averaging 48% from the three-point line, and it's not because she's not shooting a lot. She's made a couple. She's shooting volume, but making volume too.
Yeah. Has been able to stretch the floor and open up the paint for both Cardoso and Dantas offensively. Not afraid to put it on the deck like here. And Olivia Miles gets fouled, or picks up the foul, excuse me. And that will send Nascimento to the line.
You know, Olivia Miles got called with the foul there, and she actually called for the substitution, asking for Hannah Hidalgo to give her a quick breather, and she goes to the bench. It's not the last we're going to see from her.
So Hannah Hidalgo in the game now. Going to have to deal with Bella Nascimento, the Massachusetts native who played 2 years at Manhattan and then 2 more years at William & Mary. All CAA as a senior last season with 16 points and a steal and a half. An absolute sharpshooter for Brazil. So Hannah Hidalgo, her first touch of the rock, her team down 5. She came in against Canada, just transformed the basketball game, took it over on both ends of the floor with her defense, and that turned into offense. Van Sluten inside to Stalky. Of course, close quarter passing that time for the two bigs. Mora, she's a different big than Cardoso is. She can step out and shoot the 3. Rolling with Gonzalo. Good find by Gonzalo. Mora misses the lane. It's Madison Booker. She'll work off of Van Sluten. Hidalgo surveying the situation. Able to touch the paint, get to the rim, can't finish. Booker cleans it up.
Madison Booker, the 2-time winner in the NCAA, the award for the best forward, and she just puts her athleticism on display with that putback.
4 offensive rebounds to start this game for Team USA. Dantas traveled. Stalky with great defense to force that turnover. Here it is.
Yeah, and you take a look at just how good Team USA is. Coming into this game, they're averaging 31 points off turnovers. So not only are they leading the tournament in steals per game, but they're also converting.
Against the Dominican Republic, they had 31 steals. That's a modern-day record here at the AmeriCup. How about Maddie Booker drilling the straight-on 3? Booker has struggled with her shot here at the AmeriCup, just shooting 39% from the field. That had to feel good going through the hoop. Hidalgo with a pick and pulls for 3. It's not there. Blix on the offensive rebound.
Those two players right there, Blakes and Hidalgo, they've combined coming into this one 5.5 steals. The USA, like I said, averaging 29 fast break points. But those two averaging that many steals. Hidalgo had 5 steals in her last game alone. And so if you show them the ball at any time on offense, you don't take care of it, this is a team that's going to take full advantage.
That 3 no good. Another offensive rebound for Team USA. Blake's shot not there, and Dantas pulls it down and will push the other way. You can see Brazil missing Camila Cardoso, giving up so many old boards here in this opening period. Here's the steal that you were talking about for Hannah Hidalgo.
Yeah, I mean, you know Gonzalo is thinking that she's protecting the ball with her body, but you give an inch to Hannah Hidalgo, she's going to take a mile coming into this one. She's coming off a really, really good game, like you were saying, Carlin, where 5 steals wasn't even the headline when it could have been a headline for any other player playing in this tournament. Really, really good defender and excellent hands, as you saw in that play.
Gianna Needkins and Audie Crooks into the game for Team USA. Nascimento finding a crease to lay it in. There's Pokey Chapman looking on, the head coach of Brazil. As this team rolling here in Chile. Haven't really faced any tough competition Similar to the Americans, their toughest battle came against Canada in the semifinals. Brazil absolutely rolled Argentina in the semis. That game was over by the end of the first quarter. 7 to shoot for Team USA here as Neatkins will inbound. Hidalgo rejects the screen, attacking, can't get it to go. Crooks puts it back up and in as the shot clock expires. Early minutes for Audie Crooks paying off for the Americans.
Yeah, and 7 offensive rebounds already for Team USA for 12 second chance points. So 12 of those 19 have been on opportunities they created for themselves.
De Oliveira trying to weave through traffic. Over the head pass. Mora for 3. That doesn't go. Hidalgo comes away with the board. Crooks wants it down low. Van Sloot top of the key. Smith turning the corner. Smith stops and pops. Shoe is hit, no whistle. And Dantas will push back the other way. Nascimento inside to Dantas, floor clear. She goes to work. And that's going to be tough for Van Sloot or anyone on Team USA to have to deal with.
Like, Dantas has played 9 years in the WNBA, and you can see the difference in her game.
Hidalgo didn't waste any time, returning the favor back the other way with the lay. Kaká Martins. Bounce pass inside to Mora. And now Dantas again on Van Sloot. Plenty of space to operate. Got Van Sloot in the air. Trying to kiss it in off the window, but you'll have to earn the 2 at the line.
Dantas showed so much patience in that play. You mentioned leading the tournament in all scorers, but this is how she does it. Gets Van Sloot off the ground, waits for her to have 2 feet up before she goes back up, and it's almost a different counter every time you see Dantas down low. In the possession right before this, got in, went quick up off the glass. This time, really showed patience and drew the foul from Van Sloot to get the opportunity at 2. Plus, you're putting the bigs of USA a little bit more in foul trouble the more and more you go at them. And so Dantas, a really smart player and offensively talented, is an understatement.
She has the burden of carrying the national team on her back. Erica de Souza, who did it for so long with Brazil, former WNBA star, now part of the national team as a mentor, and Dominus Dantas taking on the mantle as the captain and the leader of this squad. Hidalgo was fouled by Kaká Martins, and Hidalgo will go to the line.
Hannah Hidalgo coming into this one, averaging 12 points per game. A lot of them coming right underneath the hoop, and look, she's listed as 5'6", but she gets downhill among the trees and she can get it done. She draws the foul on that one and has a chance at the charity stripe.
She had a 19-point outing in the semifinal against Canada, pulled down 4 boards, dished out 4 assists, and as Kelsey mentioned earlier, had the 4 steals. And she came off the bench. Canada just couldn't deal with her. And she took that basketball game over. Looking to do the same here in the finals. Now locking in on Kaká Martins full court. Hidalgo got her fingertips to the basketball, couldn't corral them. Mora top of the key. Dantas counted in the foul. That's a bad girl over there. Dominus Dantas will go to the line for 1 more.
Look at this. She knows she has a smaller defender on her. Doesn't need much space as you have Hannah Hidalgo right under your chin. A fadeaway and the poise to be able to finish that shot and the 3-point play. I mean, Dantas, she's the MVP of a lot of different tournaments, including way back when U19 World Championships back in 2011. That's how long she's been dominant for Brazil.
Hidalgo's 3 not there. And Brazil will push back the other way. 2-for-1 opportunity for Brazil if they hurry. De Oliveira, Dantas swings it. Ferreira driving baseline, swallowed up by Van Sloot. What a block by Van Sloot. Mora stuck with it. And Hidalgo will clear. And Hidalgo now stopping the fine Audie Crooks, who had the smaller Kakamauchins on her back, and Kakamauchins came around to steal it. Hidalgo tracking back to come away with the steal. Shot clock unplugged. Team USA will hold for the final look.
And that's what you want from your point guard, right? If they give it away, they gotta be able to get it back, and that's her second steal already in the first quarter.
Hidalgo running off the Audie Crooks screen. Finds Crooks. Crooks gets fouled. 0.9 seconds remaining in the period. Here's the block by Van Sloot.
Audie Crooks currently playing for Iowa State. She averaged 23 points per game last year, 60% from the field. She's a two-time first-team All Big 12, both this past season and the season before. And look, Audie's mom actually held the record for a leading scorer until Audie broke it. And so that's a player right there who knows how to put it on, and not the role she really has on Team USA, but early first quarter minutes here, she takes full advantage.
A three-point advantage for Team USA here in the finals of the AmeriCup. They're up 25-22 over Brazil after one. First period stats on your screen right now. Shooting percentages okay for both teams so far. Well, Brazil finding the range from three-point land, and that keeps them close. Dominguez Dantes getting Joyce Edwards and Madison Beers to go to the bench early in this one. And with Camila Cardoso picking up 2 fouls, Dantes has had to put this offense on her back early for Brazil.
Yeah, she's got 10 points after a quick 2 buckets there from Camila Cardoso, or a quick 1 bucket you see there from Camila Cardoso. And since then, it's been Damaris Dantes, and Damaris Dantes. Bella Nascimento, as you see here, pulled up from 3. She's got 7 points and 2 assists. And like I said, the presence of the bigs down low for Brazil are going to get her a lot of open looks if she's able to continue to knock them down, coming off a 6 or 7 3-point outing yesterday. And Hannah Hidalgo misses that one. Madison Booker cleans it up and then gets one for herself. And we talk about the efficiency of this USA offense. They're coming into this one averaging 91 points per game, 46% field goal, and they've got Olivia Miles and Gianna Niebkins, who we haven't even seen a lot from so far, are the number 3 and number 4 players in efficiency in this tournament.
Scan the QR code on your screen right now for the Courtside 1891 app. Streams, schedules, scores, and so much more from all competitions. FIBA basketball. Courtside 1891, your home for international hoop. And Hidalgo checking in for Olivia Miles, and ratcheting up the defense for Team USA will be U.S. basketball to start this second quarter. Edwards on the floor, Hidalgo. Beers back on the floor, Smith and Niebkins. Here's Smith, watched by De Oliveira. Camila Cardoso with the 2 fouls. 10 and White back on the floor. Ferreira got a hand on it, and Kakamauchins will push back the other way. Cardoso sets the screen for Mauchins. De Oliveira comes off of it. They want to get Cardoso a touch. They do. Beers on her back. Cardoso weaving in, and she'll go to the line. And if that's on Beers, that's going to be her second foul.
I mean, and that's what Camila Cardoso does so well. You saw Reagan Beers, she's going to check out now, and in for her is Stolke, but you saw her battling so hard before Camila gets the ball down low, and that's what you got to do. That battle has to start before she gets the ball. I said it once, and you're going to hear me say it 1,200 times. Once Camila Cardoso gets the ball and has her defender pinned behind her in the key, it's over. And so you saw Reagan battling it out, trying to get position before they're able to inbound it, but once they do, she draws the foul and heads to the line.
It's 1 or 2 from the line. Stolke was able to pull down the board. Hidalgo hesitating, working on Kakamauchins. Need kids on the drive. The float not there. Cardoso doing a good job just contesting that time, putting her hands straight up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the defense that you're going to see from Kamilla Cardoso in this third quarter. She's got 2 fouls, so she can't be uber aggressive. Just got to be the big body and the long vertical stance that she will have to be to protect the rim down low.
Hands once again for Brazil. 7 on the shot clock for Team USA to work with. Stolke. Shot clock winding down. Hidalgo weaving through traffic. Got it up in time. It hit the rim, but couldn't get it to drop. Stolke with the offensive rebound. Hidalgo will try again. That's not good. And Cardoso ripping it out of the sky. You can see the difference, Kelsey, when Cardoso is on the floor for Brazil. As Team USA has gobbled up 8 offensive boards here in this game. Dantes coming across the lane, falling away over Edwards.
There is not a lot you can do to defend that. And so, like I said, the work's got to start before both of those twin towers down low for Brazil get the ball. It's got to be getting the position rather than defending it when they've got it in their hands.
Edwards over Cardoso, that's short. And Ferreira puts a fork in. Dantes could also step out and hit the 3. She gets Cardoso a look inside as Stolke fell down. And this is what Brazil has done all tournament long, is body blows inside with Cardoso and Domingues Dantes. Give Cardoso 5. Smith turning the corner, the float. It's not there. Cleared by De Oliveira. Cardoso with an early touch. Gets to the rim, counted in the foul. Killer Cam announcing her presence in the final.
Yeah, watch this. Stolke gets stuck behind her, and there's just nothing you can do. I don't know if USA looks to double team her to get it out of her hands, but one-on-one, this is Kamilla Cardoso, and she's going to win that battle time and time again. That time Stolke, I think, looking to take the charge, but Kamilla is so good at controlling her body, staying vertical. She doesn't need to drop any type of shoulders or anything like that. Just big and physical. Knows how to finish around the rim, and I mean, you're gonna get sick of me saying it, but the battle's gotta be before she gets the ball.
She will take it 3rd overall in the 2024 WNBA draft behind Caitlin Clark and Cam Brink. A very star-studded draft. Many people will remember that draft, and Cardoso, a top 3 pick in it. Van Sluten working on Cardoso. Cardoso comes up with the block. Dantes now, down low on Edwards. Edwards giving her the space to work. Carol Lawson has seen enough. Pokey Chapman rushing out to center court to talk to Kamilla Cardoso as the Brazilian bench celebrates. And they start rolling here in the 2nd period.
Right, and that's the difference that these 2 players make. They came into this one averaging 25 points each, but now it's time for them to turn on the Jets. Damaris with 14 and Kamilla with 8, and we'll go inside the timeout to hear Carol Lawson.
Cardoso's presence being felt here in the 2nd period. Domingues Dantes also going to work. And points in the paint right now, favoring Brazil as they go on a 10-0 run here to start this 2nd period and take the lead, 32-25.
You heard Carol Lawson say, look, the plan is not to ISO with a 6'7" player, and who she's referring to there is Kamilla Cardoso standing at 6'7". It can't be Camila Cardoso going one-on-one against Joyce Edwards or against Grace Van Sluten. Got to be a team effort in stopping her. Just 8 points right now, but presence felt in the rebounding, in the blocks, and in the dominance in the minutes, the limited minutes that she's played so far.
Olivia Miles back on the floor. Watched by Bella Nascimento. Booker trying to get around Dantas. They say last touch by Team USA. Dantas thought she actually hit her chest and said that she's the one that knocked it out of bounds. The officials will come together and give Team USA possession of the basketball, as that is the right call. Dantas definitely touched it before it went out of bounds. Here's a replay, Kels.
Yeah, you'll see the replay here, and I don't know how long that replay is, but you can see her say, "My bad." And I mean, hey, the referees are doing such a good job as a team, and this is a gold medal game. You want to make everyone correct, and so a great redirect there from the referees.
It leads to a Blake's mini to stop the Brazilian run. Kaká Maltins. Belas Nascimento was wide open because Camila Cardoso cleared the way for her, and that is the third foul on Cardoso, and she'll have to head back to the bench.
You know what? That's the game plan. Forget the keys that I said before. Get Camila Cardoso off the court with 3 fouls with 6.5 minutes left to go in the first half. You can see the difference that she makes on this team. And the offense is the obvious side, but on defense, the way that USA can't drive and can't get shots up, and she alters those decisions as USA attacks. USA got to look to get a run going with Camila Cardoso off the court. Only 2 points scored in the quarter so far.
We saw Pokey Chapman talking to the lead official, Andres Bartel. She was pointing to Team USA's bench and saying that they're doing a lot of talking, and she wanted Andres Bartel to pay attention to that and maybe potentially advocate for a tech. Andres Bartel went over there and said, "Hey, this is the finals. Worry about your own team."
Coach is going to coach.
Miles was swallowed up that time by Victoria. Miles struggling to start this game a little bit. Dantas down low. Edwards all alone on an island and finally got Dantas to miss one. And Booker was fouled by Victoria as she was trying to grab that board. And you see Pokey Chapman trying to sit her Brazilian team down as they were fired up for the call going against Victoria. There's a Victoria block on Miles.
Yeah, and you know, great defense there by Brazil. They're just so big, and I think what Miles does best coming into this one, averaging 7 assists, is getting her teammates going. And so if she can look to make some of those magic passes to get going, I think it'll open up some of her offensive looks.
Kayla Blake's put her head down and got to the rim that time. Couldn't get it to drop, though. That's a tie-up possession error going Brazil's way, so it'll be their basketball. And Domingues Dantas is back on the floor after that short break, as is Alana Gonçalo, a point guard for Brazil. You see Olivia Miles heading out, and Hidalgo will check back in. And Hidalgo picking up full court. Gonçalo's trying to shake Hidalgo, and Hidalgo picks up the foul. I don't think there's a point guard here that played against Hannah Hidalgo that won't see her in their nightmares.
Yeah, Hannah Hidalgo, I mean, you're talking about players. Even yesterday, watching Hannah Hidalgo play against Team Canada and Nell Fortner, who had to coach against her. Yeah. I think she's just in everyone's nightmares. Offensively, so lethal, and defensively, doesn't give you an inch to breathe.
Fortner coaching at Georgia Tech, now coaching for the Canadian national team, who won bronze here in a thriller, a double overtime thriller. The game before this one, the gym was on fire for that. Right now, they're enjoying a 5-point advantage for Brazil, and that's cut by that triple by Blakes.
Yeah, Michaela Blakes, I gave her credit for being efficient. She's also tied for leading scorer of this team, 12 points per game coming into this one. And I think she doesn't get as much credit because it's not as fancy, it's not the sexy plays, but she gets it done and does it really efficiently for the Americans.
That ball last touched by Joyce Edwards. 6 on the clock for Brazil to work with. Kara Lawson looking on. We're starting to see the intensity pick up on both ends of the floor here midway through the second. Now Cimento will try this inbound. Over the top. Edwards had a fingertip to it, and Mora touched it last. We're going the other way.
Everything just seems to be going the American way right now with Camila Cardoso on the bench, and you mentioned it, the difference maker that she is offensively and defensively really fuels Brazil, so they got to find that from somewhere else. They got to find that fire without her on the floor for the next 4.5 minutes.
Olivia Miles back on the floor now for Team USA, trying a tough layup. She got hammered, and she'll go to the line to try and earn it. After Hannah Dog will pick up that last foul, her second, it brought Miles back in the game, and get her split the D there.
She's so impressive to watch, and I mean, if you're a fan of NCAA basketball, you've seen her a lot. She was projected to be #2 overall pick in the WNBA this season, but she's going to transfer to TCU, the new teammate, and I mean, she's been really good since her freshman year. She's the first freshman, men or women, to record a triple-double in their tournament debut, and so almost averaging a triple-double in tournament play here with 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. She gets it done on the foul line.
There was a sign that a young fan was holding up before this game started that said, "I love Olivia Miles," and I guarantee you that fan isn't the only one in this building. They just brought a sign for her. That's a tough move inside by Victoria, and then she comes up, almost comes up with the steal.
And that's the fire. That's the fire you need from Brazil, and it's going to be Victoria right now who lights that fire under Brazil. As I mean, they only allowed USA so far to score 7 points, but it just seems like USA has the momentum in their favor after 3 quick fouls on Cardoso.
Miles on the 45, driving baseline. Van Sluten jabbing, now spinning, bumped over the top of Mora. That's a tough bucket by Van Sluten. They want Dantas on the block. Joyce Edwards showing 2, came up with the block, but then got the back of Dantas's head, and Dantas showing some sportsmanship, checking on Joyce Edwards. Edwards got popped in the chin.
Yeah, Joyce Edwards is going to get that foul, and she'll take a seat on the bench with 2 fouls as Madison Stolke comes back in the game. And you were talking about a tough finish on the other end for Van Sluten, and even tougher defensive assignment for her right now, trying to slow down Damiris Dantas, the leading scorer of this tournament, almost 20 points per game coming into this one. And she's got an even bigger load on her shoulders right now without her partner in crime down low in the key.
Here you see some of the Argentinians who are signing autographs here for some of the youngsters in the arena. Argentina was the underdog in our bronze medal game, and all of a sudden the capacity crowd here became full-out Argentinian supporters as they supported them all the way to the double overtime loss, and were even chanting MVP for Greder, their starting point guard, who left the game and tried to keep it close against Canada. Meanwhile, here in this final, Michaela Blake's starting to sizzle offensively.
And both teams now with 4 team fouls. And so for the rest of the 3.5 minutes here, Carlin, every time we see an illegal touch, there's going to be foul shots. And it's been a really, really physical start to this game. And so it comes down to foul shots until the half break. This is so cute.
Agostina Burani there taking selfies with the crowd. It's been great to have this tournament here in Santiago, Chile, because the fans here have just absolutely adored all 10 teams here, including their national team, playing in this tournament. Mora's fouled by Blake's on the pass, so it'll be side out. Oh, excuse me, that will be the 15th foul for the U.S., so we'll send Mora to the line.
And Brazil has already shot 12 free throws in the first half alone. And I think in the second half, Carlin, it's just going to get more and more physical as the stakes and that medal gets closer and closer. This is just the beginning for both these teams.
Elaine Moura plays for Sessi in the Brazilian Professional League, averaging 12.8 points per contest and 6.5 boards this season. Having to play a lot more here tonight in the final with Camila Cardoso on the bench with 3 fouls. Blake's 3 not there. She followed her own and then got clobbered by Moura. And official says it's going the other way as Blake's touching glass out of bounds.
I mean, yeah, it's a no call there because it's Blake's that initiated that contact. Moura remained vertical, didn't do anything wrong, and although it was a really hard hit, you can't punish the defender for just being bigger.
Blake's defending tough there. Van Sloten with the steal. Blake's trying to get the lay, but Gonzalo came up with the block. And then Moura hustling back. Both teams fighting for the ball as Madison Booker dives on it and keeps possession for the Americans.
This is what you want to see in a gold medal game. At 2 different times in that one possession, you have both teams diving on the floor as you get another look at what a beautiful block. Great body control there. And there's the first person to dive. She tries to pass it off, and then you got Madison Booker diving herself. This is the intensity you got to see. This is high-level basketball here in Santiago.
Madison Booker tried to get into Van Sloten. Booker will take a 3, and it's way off. And Dantas pulls down the rebound. This feels like important. 2:25 left to play in this half. Both teams trying to battle for momentum before we go into the halftime break.
Yeah, and it's important for both teams in different ways. If you're the U.S., you want to take advantage of the time without Camila Cardoso. Madison Bikes does just that. And for Brazil, you want to hold off. You want to make sure that the USA doesn't do what they just did and take the lead while Cardoso's on the bench.
What a pretty move for 2 by Michaela Blakes, and that leads to a timeout. 2:10 remaining here in the first half. Pokey Chapman's huddle is all yours. Appreciate both coaches allowing us to get into their huddles and listening on conversations. As you heard Pokey Chapman that time, setting up a play to try and space the floor. As you take a look at that beautiful spin by Michaela Blakes and the reaction from Kara Lawson wanting it to be an and one. But Blakes peeling herself off the deck, and she is rolling right now with 13 points here in this first half.
One of my favorite things is getting to listen to the coaches. She's saying, yeah, great on the offensive boards, only allowed 3 in this quarter.
Look at Blakes with the rip on Gonzalo and lays it in.
But, you know, Brazil shooting 55% from the field, and Coach Pokey Chapman still not satisfied, saying, let's get a little better looks.
Dantas being hounded by Stolke here. Dantas, the hook. Blake's the hot hand, moves it to Miles. They want to go on the block for Crooks. And that's a good defensive effort that time by Moura fighting around Crooks. Dantas was on the block waiting for that pass to come in, and a good kick save there by Booker. Look at Michaela Blakes. It's not only been her offense so far in this quarter, but the D stepping up as well. Dantes, and she says, get out of the way, let me go to work. Takes the hit and rattles it home.
Look, and that's good defense by Stuelke, better offense by Damiris Dantes.
Miles is clobbered on her way to her hoop, and she'll go to the line for 2.
And take a look at this. As soon as Dantes gets you on your back, she looks over her shoulder, you see here, looks, sees the 3 defenders, sees Stuelke, feels her, and then fades away. She's gonna be able to create space if you're behind her. If you're pinned behind her, it's over. How many times have I said that already?
We'll keep count.
All right,
We'll keep
we're
count.
at 10.
If Blakes has 15 points, you might be at 15. You're the leading scorer in this first half. Blakes with the poke again, and the lay. Michaela Blakes taking over this second quarter.
USA 13 points off turnovers. You got to know that going into this one. We mentioned the 31 steals they had in a single game in this tournament, and on their way there now.
Nascimento freeing herself for 3. Indeed. Fast pace right now in this basketball game with 30.6 seconds left to play in the first half. Blakes was fouled, and both teams in the penalty, and that will send her to the line. But again, fueling her offense with her D.
Michaela Blakes, 2 steals. Hannah Hidalgo, 2 steals. It's almost when one goes out, another comes in, and they're not giving the guards of Brazil any room to breathe. These 2 averaging 5.5 points combined, or 5.5, steals combined coming into this one, and already 4 combined in the first half.
Talked about her offensive explosion, setting the SEC and Vandy record with 53 points in January, and then following up and breaking it with 55 at Auburn. But last year she averaged 2.5 steals per game as well for Vandy. So getting it done on both ends of the floor. See the shooting percentages for both teams at the foul line. Now 1-point game in favor of Team USA. A 6-second difference between shot and game as Dantes gets doubled. Nascimento has Smith in front of her. Nascimento will step back, and she's fouled with 1.7 left on the shot clock. And it's going to be 3 free throws coming from Bella Nascimento.
If that foul wasn't called, that defensive possession would have been credited to Audie Crooks. And she doubled at the perfect time to get the ball out of Dantes' hands. And then you can see her probably from your screen, even though it's a small view from the court, but she's the one directing traffic on the defensive end. She calls out the picks. She calls out Woodside, under, over, and really quarterbacking this defense for the USA, but she can't not foul. She can't tell someone else not to foul, and so Bella Nascimento, so dangerous, so crafty, draws that foul, and one of the best shooters on this Brazilian team, and just feasts from the perimeter. She's feasting from the free throw line right now.
Coach Lawson was trying to say that Nascimento wasn't in the act of shooting. That was the replay right there. You be the judge at home as Nascimento knocks down all of her attempts at the line. Manu Alves will check into the game. She'll be headed to the University of Illinois next season. She's 19 years old, making her senior national team debut in this tournament. 21 in white. Blakes pulls at the horn. Can't get it to go, and that's how we'll end the first half, as that Crooks bucket was too late. Brazil trying to defend their AmeriCup crown. Right now, they take a 2-point lead into the halftime break.
Yeah, the Americans are not going to let them defend that crown without a fight. They're down by 2. Out-rebounding Brazil, 22-14. Brazil shooting a whopping 67% from the field. And you heard Pokey Chapman say, look, let's get give up those good looks, get some great looks, and look for the ball movement here as Dantas has taken over on the offensive end with 20 points already in this one to go along with 5 rebounds and 2 assists, with Camila Cardoso playing limited minutes, just under 6 minutes in the first half with 3 fouls.
Best plays from the second quarter, and as Kelsey mentioned, it's been Camila Dantas powering this Brazilian offense. 20 points in this one. She's already exceeding her tournament average. Camila Cardoso, once she's been on the floor, she has been dominant. The problem was for Brazil in that first half, those 3 fouls had her watching a lot of basketball.
USA doing it by committee. Leading the way is Michaela Blakes, who gets it done on offense and defense. You see her pull up from the 3 there. Also credit her with 2 steals, which has been a huge part of the Americans' game so far. They've got 6 steals already as a team in the first half and 13 points off of turnovers in that first half, as you see Vittoria really veteran move to the basket.
That was a gorgeous Blake spin to the hoop. She has 18 big points for Team USA. And it's always been one player for the Americans that has taken over quarters. Kayla Blakes did just that in second to keep Team USA within striking distance here. Another look at that beautiful spin move and finish over Bella Nascimento. And you saw Hannah Hidalgo, the first one out there, the chest bumper, and fire her up. At the half, it's a 2-point game. Brazil 47, Team USA 45 in the final of the AmeriCup. We'll be back with more.
This isn't a moment. It's a time unlike any before.
It's not a request, not a maybe, not a someday.
This is now. Feel our presence, built on strength
and drive. Not rising, we are arriving. Not hoping, but owning.
This isn't a moment, it's movement. Constant, relentless.
Every cut, every pass, every shot.
Earned. Taken. Undeniable. The future, it's already here.
Forged in sweat,
Ruled by queens.
When we move, the whole game shifts.
And we're unstoppable in all directions. We own the game.
I really have appreciated her performance and her hustles. Of course, the response down the other, and that's it. Just go back the other way, make the right play. Run the rim, find the layup.
It's Kim who rejects the screen, driving in. Count it and the foul. Alexander battling for post position. Hidalgo ripped Day Wilson. Attacking the rim. Hidalgo off the window and a flex. She'll go to the line for one more.
Day Wilson, step back, deep 3. Nothing but net. The crowd erupts. And to end the third quarter, Cheyenne Day Wilson.
Gallegos, a lot more energy in this gym now over the last couple of minutes. Laura rolling, rejected by Cardoso. And Cardoso gathering the troops saying, hey, enough is enough. You see the Mexican bench, though, showing some signs of life.
Miles behind the back. Wow, the no-look pass into Van Slooten. The crowd liked that one. That was pretty.
A whirling dervish of a shot that puts the crowd on mute.
at the end of that one. Sarah Villa makes the bucket for Argentina to push the lead.
Sammy Hill sneaking along the baseline, rejected by Smith. Oh, what a block.
Being guarded closely by Escobar, comes off the screen, puts it up from three. That's a way to end the quarter, Amy.
Confidence.
That is unbelievable. These guys will be legends in their own countries, but also in the international basketball world.
Back at the half in front of a spirited crowd here in Santiago, Chile. It is a two-point game, 47-45 in favor of Brazil. And the final of the AmeriCup here in 2025. I have an opportunity to look at the top scorers from both teams here at the halftime break. As the crowd is being entertained by Zoe the mascot. Here at center court, Carla Gay alongside Kelsey Wright-Johnson. Thanks for joining us wherever you are, however you're doing so. It's such a great crowd here in Santiago, Chile. And they have sold out this arena and right now are enjoying the acrobatics of Zoe the mascot here at the AmeriCup.
You know, we'll take a look at the top scorer for Team USA first, and that is been Michaela Blakes, has put this team on her back. 18 points, 7 of 13 from the field to go along with 3 rebounds and 2 steals. So really doing it on both ends of the floor. The steal is coming at really important times and not allowing the Brazilian guards to get any look. And that's the thing, she's doing it from all over the floor. Made that 1-3 you just saw there, and then some we're going to see here really tough finishes at the rim as well. And now if you're Team USA, she's got 18 and no one else has hit double digits because they're kind of doing it by committee here with almost everyone who's touched the floor has put up a point for Team USA. But when you look at what you've got on the other end as you get Camila Cardoso back in the game, it's going to be who else can step up and put points on the board for Team USA. As there's her 2 steals there led to 2 buckets, and points from turnovers, USA's 13 over Brazil's only 5.
Beavers Dantes has had to carry the offensive load for a large part of that first half, Kels, with Camila Cardoso sitting on the bench for the majority of it with 3 fouls. And she's shown up and already exceeded her tournament average. She was averaging 19.5 points coming into this game. She has 20 big ones after 20 minutes.
Yeah, 6 of those have come from the free throw, which just shows how lethal she is when she's able to pin her defenders. You're going to see a lot of her down low, and they're going to continue to feed her there. And like I said, because she forces the defense's attention on her and moves defenders so far out of position, it's helped Bella Nascimento rack up 13 points, 2 for 2 from the 3-point line, and 100% from the foul line, excuse me, for Bella Nascimento. And you're seeing a whole lot of Brazilian offense there, but if we look over at the USA's defensive end right now, Carlin, they've only allowed 1 offensive rebound for Team Brazil. And Brazil, of course, they're shooting 15 for 25, but there was opportunities there. And second chance points, the USA has kept them to 0 in that first half. They've scored 12 of them. And USA also 12 points off the bench. And so you see the two different styles of play right now. Brazil leaning heavily on Damiris Dantas and Bella Nascimento with limited minutes from Camila Cardoso. USA, they've had Michaela Blakes put the offense on her shoulders, and then everyone else has done it by committee. You've got one player who has 5 points and then 4 who have scored 4 each. Everyone a scoring option on this American team as they're shooting 37% from the field as a team, going up against a team that's shooting 60%. You got to think they're going to look for some better shots in this second half and hope their offense kind of just explodes. But what difference does Camila Cardoso make when she gets back into this one? 3 fouls. Can't be super aggressive on the defensive end, but her presence and her size down low changes for defense, and offensively she's coming into it averaging 14 points per game in this tournament, shooting 70% from the field to go along with 10 rebounds, and she's the reigning MVP. You're looking at Dantas here, who has had to do a lot in this game, and it would mean a lot to get back-to-back golds for their country.
Both of them taking a pause in their WNBA seasons to be here. Dantas leaving the Indiana Fever and Cardoso leaving the Chicago Sky. And they didn't come here to leave with a silver medal. They came here to leave with gold and try to defend and successfully defend that AmeriCup crown. Dantas working on a 20-point night and has drawn 5 fouls so far in the game on the American bigs. Cardoso has been limited in her action, only playing 5 minutes of that first half. She still has 8 points and was able to come away with a block and a couple of shot changes when she was in there defending the rim. And you mentioned Bella Nascimento, the 13 big points. She makes up the 3-headed monster that Brazil has offensively. It's the jabs inside with Cardoso and Dantas, and then Nascimento able to give you the KO from 3-point range once she is able to hit. Well, we've seen 3 games today thus far in the AmeriCup Championship Sunday. It started with a big win from Mexico, defeating the Dominican Republic. Puerto Rico losing to Colombia. Canada in double overtime, getting past Argentina. And right now a battle between Team USA and Brazil. Here's Karen Lawson.
Liv, you're going over the top. We're going to go 2 away. Joyce, look at that. Dribble. Maddie, burn that. See if we got the back door. Okay? Mick, come up. If Joyce can't pass that back door, I'm sorry, Liv, come up. Mick, come up. If Joyce can't pass that back door, talk to her so you don't get the ball back. Yep. Yeah, come off that. So double away, come off that. And if Joyce gets stuck, you go to her, okay? All right, here we go. Here we go. USA on 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. From the jump, baby. Let's go. That's right. Here we go. Right here, Blue. Yeah, start.
We're 20 minutes away from deciding who will take that trophy home with them from Chile. Meanwhile, you can scan the QR code on your screen. Courtside 1891, your companion app for the FIBA Women's AmeriCup. If you missed any of the action here in Chile, you can relive it with the Courtside 1891 app. Stream schedule, scores, and so much more. And you can also get set for the Asia Cup coming up later on this summer. AfroBasket coming up later on this summer. Those 2 tournaments will also determine who will get the direct ticket to the Women's World Cup in 2026 in Germany. Off we go here in the 3rd quarter. Brazil starting with possession. It's Dantas, Cardoso back on the floor. Victoria, Gonzalo, and Nascimento. The 5 for Brazil right now. Team USA rolls out Blakes, Edwards, Booker, Beers, and Miles. 9 to shoot for Brazil here. Dantas on the 45. Nascimento from the corner for 3. Indeed. 16 points and counting for Nascimento. Her 3rd triple of the game. She's perfect from the line beyond. It'll be Blakes. Horn set. Beers will step out for 3. can't respond, but an offensive rebound and another one for Team USA. Edwards had it ripped as she tried to go over the top of Dantes. Cardoso banging her way to the rim. She'll go to the line for two. It's been a tough night for Reagan Beers as she picks up the foul guarding Camila Cardoso.
Yeah, Reagan Beers now 3 fouls, and all of those have been trying to guard this woman right here in Camila Cardoso. And Cardoso at the line now, so both the bigs playing with 3 fouls as she misses that one. And you'd think this would be a sign for this team, or both of the bigs, excuse me, and Beers and Cardoso to stop banging down low, but it's not going to happen. This is a really physical game, and that's how Cardoso plays. And so she's going to have to be a little careful just because of how important she is. But like I said, USA really playing by committee right now, and so you want Reagan Beers to keep going at her. If she gets another foul, you just bring another big body off the bench and hope that Camila Cardoso commits her foul.
Edwards try the 3, it's an air ball. Van Sluten will check in. Edwards getting the quick hook after that miss. Hidalgo also back on the floor for Montes. Nascimento comes off the curl. Her first miss from deep. Hidalgo will pick it up and move back the other way. Blakes for 3. It's not there. She's going to track down her own miss and attack the rim. Michaela Blakes showing out here in Santiago, Chile.
20 early points for Michaela Blakes. You wondered at half if that offense would cool down for her, and to start this one, what a bucket. And she's so good at finishing at the rim, as Camila Cardoso, really good at finishing at the rim herself. And Reagan Beers picks up her 4th personal foul.
It's just a tough cover for Camila Cardoso. The entire American bench erupting that time, upset with the foul call, but Cardoso just so physical, as you mentioned, Kelsey. And Beers did her best that time to match that physicality. Cardoso continues the parade to the line. Knocks down the first. You see the leadership there by Blakes and Hidalgo having a conversation with Juan Fernandez from Argentina, one of the officials here.
Yeah, they're saying, how do we guard her without fouling? How do we do it? Give us some tips.
And it's a question that every team that Brazil has seen here in Santiago, Chile is asking. Hidalgo driving to the hoop. She gets fouled, and we'll go to the line for 2.
I hope we get a replay of that, because Hannah Hidalgo, I had mentioned her size and the size advantage that the Brazilian defense has. Watch as she drives, scoops it up, and holds it with her entire arm, cradles it with the other one, and protects that ball so well as she drives down the lane. And that's because of the strength and the tenacity of her driving down the lane, as well as her protecting the ball with everything she's got. It doesn't allow Brazil to knock it out of her hands, which is something they've been able to do. Brazil really good at moving their feet, really good at moving their hands, but going up against Hidalgo, she's rewarded with a foul.
Hidalgo averaging just under 24 points a game, 5 boards, and 3.5 dimes. Think about her 3.5 steals last season at Notre Dame. She's such a defensive pest. I mean that best way. Not like the pest you are, Kels.
Oh my gosh.
Booker with the rebound. Hidalgo floats one. Can't get it to drop. Ball up for grabs. Hidalgo diving for it. A foul is going to be called.
That's that pesky defense right there that you're talking about. Hannah Hidalgo does not give up, and that time
Official pointed the wrong way. That had Team USA losing their mind. So the foul is on number 8, Bella Nascimento, who jumped on top of Hidalgo. So everyone can calm down. And it'll be USA basketball, 14 on the shot clock.
Emotions are high.
And very high in the final.
The stakes are high, and we get another look here. Hannah Hidalgo, all heart, all hustle, gets on the floor, and a little bit of a tie up there, but you're right. Again, she protects the ball with her body, which forces Nascimento to reach around her.
Here's Maddie Booker. Blinks. Can't hit that time. And Cardoso tapped it up to allow Dantas to vacuum it in. Cardoso, deep post position. Sprays it out. Victoria. It's a good closeout that time by Blinks. And Blake's going to foul Victoria. She was riding her on the way to the rim. It's the second personal foul for Michaela Blinks here. And the third team foul already for Team USA here in this period. Nascimento steps back, blocked by Blakes. Ball up for grabs, and they're going to call a foul on Van Slooten.
Grace Van Slooten, that's her second personal foul of the game, and if you're Team USA, that's one that you wish you could get back. Take a look at this one, just hooking the arm of Damaris Dantas there underneath, and you want your bigs to be able to get their fouls, trying to block shots.
Dantas' three not there. Nascimento on the drive, missed it. Stolke finally clears. Van Slooten running the floor. Blakes draws two, and then she was bumped to the ground by Victoria.
I think the game was getting really, really physical to end that first half, so refs really cleaning it up now. And you see Blake's hit the deck on that one, but we've had a lot of 7 fouls already called in this quarter.
Blake's pulls for 2, not there. Salo clears and will push back the other way. Cardoso falls down trying to find some positioning on Stolke. A 3 delivered by Dantas, and a foul called again on Team USA, and the bench losing it, and it's going to be a technical foul. So here's the initial foul call. It's going to be on Stolke, and then Kara Lawson's reaction mixed with the entire bench's reactions. Everyone stood up and were leaning over the LED boards, leads to the technical foul, and Damaris Dantas at the line for the free throw that falls through.
And in a tight game, that's a big swing and a big gift for Brazil. Not only do they have the free throw, but they have the chance now to continue in play, and it has Camilla at the line for 2 points because USA now in penalty for the rest of the quarter. And I talked a little bit on the last possession about how many fouls have been called, and 5 for US, 3 for Brazil already in this quarter. So if you know the refs are tightening up their whistle, that's how you got to play defense. And so Stolke doing her best to box out Camila Cardoso in that one, but if you almost let Camila Cardoso push you forward, right? Like, you know that it's a tight whistle moving forward in this one. You can't do those little extra jabs, a little extra step back.
Two-man game between Stolke and Hidalgo, and that is going to be the 4th personal foul on Cardoso, and it will send Stolke to the line. Cardoso will head back to the bench, and Mora, who has been getting the extended minutes in her absence, will re-enter the game. Bookmark that moment. Right now, 9-4 quarter for Brazil, and Cardoso now has to sit with the 4 fouls. Stolke's first free throw falls through. Last season at Iowa, 12.7 points per game, 7.5 boards. Wasn't a great free throw shooter at 67%, and cashes on both ends. The flow and feel of this game, Kels, right now.
Flow?
It's really herky-jerky, and that favors Brazil more so than it does the Americans, because they want to get out front.
Yeah, they do. They're averaging way more points in transition than they are, almost tripling the transition points coming into this one as Brazil, as you see Hannah Hidalgo trying to push the pace here for USA and find some flow and find some rhythm.
Needkins comes up with the offensive rebound. One thing Team USA has done well is rebound when Camila Cardoso has been sitting on the bench and Madison Booker gets fouled and she'll go to the line, and now the Brazilian bench getting off of it and nearing a technical foul. These officials are tired of both teams jawing.
Look, for all the basketball games I've played in my career and all the basketball games I've watched, no one's ever happy when a foul is called against them. And I think both benches feeling a little bit of that, especially in this quarter when there's been 10 foul calls already, not even halfway through. But it's the refs who determine that, right? And so if they're tightening up their whistle in this quarter, you play accordingly. And that's something that as an offensive player, you're foaming at the mouth for, right? It means you're either gonna get a whistle or hopefully a look with not as much contact. And as a defender, you just got to be smart. You got to play vertical and stay up. And if it's not what they were allowing in the first half, you have to adjust as the player.
And Slutin checked out of the game. Joyce Edwards back on the floor. She got the quick pull after throwing up the air ball 3 early in the shot clock. Let's see how she responds now, having to guard Dantas. Dantas, so patient down low. Hidalgo at the nail, can't get it to drop. And that last touch by Diola Vieira will stay here with Team USA. They'll get a fresh 14 to work with. Smith will check into the game for Madison Booker. Take a look at Olivia Miles. Really hasn't been able to get going the way she wants to here in this game. Hidalgo jab step, attacking, floater not there. Diola Vieira coming in for the rebound. Diola Vieira will take the 3. It's not there, and Needkins all alone for the board. Needkins kicks to Joyce Edwards. Hidalgo, Edwards, 2-man game. Edwards trying to establish some post position, and another whistle here in this third quarter.
Yeah, both teams in the penalty, and so every single time we see a foul there, and we really saw them go back and forth in that one, and it's almost the referee seeing the secondary movement there is what's going to get the foul on Team Brazil as they both hit the deck. But there's going to be a lot of foul shots in the next 4 minutes and 28 seconds, so buckle up.
Feels that way. It's been a parade to the free throw line here in this one. We've had 8 lead changes so far in this basketball game. The largest lead of the game was 7 for Brazil. Right now, their lead 3. 24 free throws apiece. Dantas on the block again. Bumping with Edwards, falling away. That's so pretty.
Dantas does such a good job. You notice when she starts her shot, she's within a couple inches of her defender, and when she finishes, she's feet away, and that's what makes her so hard to guard when she's got her back to you as a defender.
25 big points. This is her tournament high right now. Single game scoring. Mora. Stolke tried to pull the chair, and Mora blew the layup, but a fresh 14 for Brazil. Gonzalo for 3. That's not there. And Hannah Hidalgo will push the other way. Hidalgo working on Nascimento. Hidalgo cups it to the hoop. Counted and the foul. Hannah Hidalgo earning a trip to the line.
We saw Hannah Hidalgo put this American team on her back yesterday. There was a lot of moves like this. Really tough take, right to the hoop. She's got 8 points in today's matchup, and going up against two of the most dominant players in Damaris Dantas that you see right there, and Camila Cardoso, who's on the bench with 4. Hannah Hidalgo should be in the mix of some of the craftiest players that we've seen in this tournament. She's incredible at dishing to her teammates, averaging 5 assists coming into this one, and she's got 2 already to go along with 4 rebounds and 8 points. Just an all-around player, and you see why Notre Dame was so good yesterday, being led by Hidalgo. Last year. It feels like yesterday.
Flau'jae Johnson getting her first minutes and going to pick up her first foul as she dig down on Damaris Dantas. And that will send Dantas back to the line.
You had a really quick look before they cut away to Kara Lawson of Dantas leading the huddle and showing her leadership there with Team Brazil. But what you didn't see, what I saw, because I'm not looking at the camera, was she put her hands straight up and she's saying, look guys, we need to just, on the defensive end, just keep your hands up, no more fouls. So good leadership there by Damaris Dantas.
Dantas restores the 3-point advantage for Brazil. 3 minutes remaining here in the third. Championship game here at the AmeriCup. Brazil trying to defend their AmeriCup trophy. Team USA trying to get the crown back. Stuelke inside, able to get it to fall. We've seen Hannah Stuelke hit some tough layups, oversized.
Yeah, give Hannah Hidalgo another assist. So patient, so good at finding her teammates, and a great finish there by Stuelke.
That pass too tall for Damaris Dantas. And Team USA trying to string a couple baskets together. Get some momentum flowing their way in this third quarter that has been stuck in mud. Stuelke will set the screen for Hidalgo. Hidalgo on the look to get it inside to Stuelke. Stuelke was battling there, but Van Slooten made herself available. Van Slooten at the nail. That's short. Rebound up for grabs, and it's pulled in by Moore. Cacamalchines calls out a set for Brazil. Nascimento. Off the screen is Dantas. Flau'jae got a hand to it. Hidalgo with the pickpocket. And Hidalgo gives Team USA the lead. Hannah Hidalgo fired up here in the third quarter. Brazil timeout. And Team USA take a 1-point lead here in the final of the AmeriCup.
The Americans have 15 points off turnovers, and I said it, you show Hannah Hidalgo an inch, she's going to take a mile, and it starts on the defensive end there as we head into the timeout in the huddle. Team Brazil.
É o detalhe, é o bom bloqueio, segura a menina para abrir, é o passe, vamos, vamos! Next time on a make, I want to run, I want to go zone one time on a make. I want to go zone one time on a make, okay? I want to go 45, get, listen to me, listen. 45, get, you're second, okay? When you come off it, if nothing, she's going to rescreen for you, okay? And you'll be popping, okay? 45, get, 45, get, okay? Listen, when we score, we're zone one time, okay? We got to rebound out of it, though. We have to rebound. Come on, right now, right now.
As we take a look at Hidalgo's finish, and there's Flau'jae Johnson, who was able to get a hand to the initial pass to create that turnover for Team USA. Hidalgo fired up here in the third in a 1-point game here in the finals of the AmeriCup. Cacamalchines getting over the timeline. Morris sets the screen. Dantas hands to Malchines, and Malchines all the way to the 10. Can't get it to go. The defense by Van Slooten. Hidalgo wanting to run. Pass inside to Van Slooten. And Hannah Hidalgo starting to percolate here for Team USA.
This is the play that we saw from Hannah Hidalgo. So good on the offensive end, finding herself, even better finding her teammates. 3 assists now, 4 assists now in the contest.
Smith able to get a hand to the entry pass. It goes out of bounds. 5 seconds on the shot clock for Brazil to work with. Malchines will inbound here. Mora with 3 to shoot. Straight line drive to the hoop. Can't get it to go. It touched the rim. Fresh 14. Nascimento for 3.
Bella Nascimento does not need a fresh 14. She is 4 for 5 from the 3-point line for 19 points.
Here's the zone that Pokey Chapman asked for in the huddle. And Mora blocks Van Sloten. Mora's trying to say that Van Sloten touched it last. And it's American basketball, 10 to shoot on the shot clock. You decide at home. Oh, might have touched Van Sloten on the way out. I'd have to get a better look at that, though. Van Sloten tried to go window, but couldn't find it. De Oliveira back the other way. Kicks to Nascimento, sprays to Dantas, her 3 in and out. Mora with the offensive rebound. Malchines, nice pass inside to Dantas. No basket. The foul before the pass got to her, and she'll have to earn them at the line.
That's the battle before she gets the ball that I've been harping on. As you see there, just trying to not allow her get to exactly where she wants to get. She's been getting exactly what she wants all game. 26 points for Damaris Dantas. Really stepped up on the offensive end, along with Bella Nascimento in the absence of Camila Cardoso.
It's Kennedy Smith's second foul. .1 seconds remaining in the period. Team USA can go 2 for 1. If they move quickly, they won't. They'll have to attack a zone. There's a battle down low with Stolke and De Oliveira fighting for position. De Oliveira's going to get called for the foul, and Stolke will head to the line.
Yeah, you see, she really wrapped her arm there and was pulling her to try and regain position as Stolke misses that first one. And look, the story of this quarter has been foul shots.
Yeah.
Both teams shooting high from the free throw line. USA a little over 96%, and that's what's kept them in this one as they find themselves down just 1.
Shot clock unplugged for this possession for Brazil. Nascimento being handed by Hidalgo. Kaka Malchines trying to work on Smith. Malchines to the rim. Tough lay, not there. Hidalgo with the rebound, and she's not going to get an opportunity at a look. And that's how we'll end the third period. 10 minutes away from potentially crowning our AmeriCup champion. It's a 1-point game. Brazil in front after 3.
Carlin, in the bronze medal game, we got to double overtime, and with just 10 minutes left to go in the gold medal game, it doesn't get closer than this. The reigning champs up by just 1 as you look at the shooting percentage. I mentioned the high shooting percentage from both teams from the free throw line, and both teams shooting volume free throw shots as well, but volume from the 3-point line is Bella Nascimento. She has been so good in the absence of Camila Cardoso. Doesn't get enough credit. She's got 19 points, 4 for 5 from 3. And it's Team USA scoring by committee, defending by committee too, but tough to defend a player like this in Damaris Dantas, who leads all scorers right now with 28 points for Team Brazil.
Camila Cardoso has had to sit on the bench with 4 fouls in her back pocket. Dantas has shown up for Brazil, trying to lead their charge to another AmeriCup victory. Anna Stolke has been physical, in a very physical third quarter. Melo Nascimento, as Kelsey mentioned, finding the range from the land beyond with those pretty threes. One more quarter to go here in this one. In a one-point game. We've already seen overtime here once in the bronze medal game. Actually, we saw a double overtime in the bronze medal game. It came down to the final possession of that one. And we'll see how close this one is down the stretch. It will be Team USA basketball to start the fourth. A reminder, courtside 1891, your place for streams, schedules, scores from all FIBA international events. Brazil sit back in a 2-3 zone. U.S. with basketball. Booker, Hidalgo, Blix, Beers back on the floor, and Van Sloot. Booker dribbling into traffic, and it's going to go the other way.
And you notice for Team Brazil, Camila Cardoso is going to start the fourth quarter on the bench, as you really want her to finish a close game like this. And as they sit down in that zone, really packing the paint. And so I think it's a chess game right now between the coaches as Poggi Chapman goes in and out of zone and man. And so you're confusing Team USA on the offensive end, and that time they just kind of threw it away.
Dantes' three not there. Blake's looking to push the other way. Reagan Beers on the floor playing with 4 fouls. Has to be careful. That's a bad pass there by Blakes. And Kaka Malchines comes up with it. Nascimento's three short. A rare open look missed from her. Hidalgo pushing. Hidalgo will pull. Indeed. Score the basket. And it looks like we have an offensive foul going the other way. That's the 5th foul on Reagan Beers.
Yeah, you saw her a little extra shove, a little extra drama down there, and that's 5 fouls on Reagan Beers. A tough position that USA is in now when Camila Cardoso does come back in, because just body-wise, is so good at guarding Camila Cardoso, but she's out to start this one. And if you were interested, or as interested, Bella Nascimento, if you were as interested as Hannah Hidalgo was, that one counted, she actually went and talked to the ref to make sure that her 2 counted. Back-to-back threes. I'm gonna stop talking, Carla, take it away.
Nascimento delivers, and then Blakes. And look at Joyce Edwards on the steal. Blakes puts it in. After a struggle to score in the third quarter, offense flowing now into fourth. Nascimento guarded by Miles. High dribble, looking to free herself. Nascimento over the top. Mora, her scoop layup not there. And Olivia Miles with the rebound. Miles fires a pass. Blakes for 3. It's not there. Edwards tapped it to Van Slooten. Five-point advantage for Team USA. Timeout Brazil. And Kara Lawson's bunch feeling it here in the fourth.
As they should. We're in the final frame now, and this is the biggest lead that Team USA has had over Brazil. And it came from an effort play, right? Like, it came from Edwards knew she couldn't get the offensive rebound, but able to tap it forward to an open teammate who held on to her position in front of the hoop for longer than, you may have. And I mentioned the big scorers or the big scorer singular for Team USA and Michaela Blakes with 20 points, and you wonder who else steps up, and it's been everyone. 11 points for Hannah Hidalgo off the bench to help that 30 points from the reserves for USA, and that's how USA is getting it done right now, playing as a committee. Almost every single player has scored, and for Brazil, really reliant on their starters. And so desperate to get Camila Cardoso back in the game for them, but they got to be smart. 4 fouls, and she's picked those up really quickly too. Playing less than 10 minutes so far in this entire game.
I can't wait any longer to bring him back in. As you see, Damaris Dantes is now second all-time in AmeriCup women's scoring. That stat being kept since '03. A great accomplishment for Damaris Dantes, but she would also love a W in this one to go back-to-back in the AmeriCup. It's a 5-point advantage for Team USA. Camila Cardoso playing with the 4 fouls back on the floor for Brazil. She's guarded by her number mirror and Hannah Stuelke. Dantes down low, working on Edwards, falling away. It's not there. Never touched the rim. Stuelke clears. Booker has it. Booker penetrating. And again, dribbles it out of bounds. It's the second time in that area where Madison Booker has dribbled it out of bounds. She's frustrated right now. Assistant coach Alicia Milton-Jones got off the bench and looked at Madison Booker and said, "You got to be strong." Let's see if she can respond. Cardoso down low, deep post position. Stuelke comes up with the strip. Miles on the run. Miles to the cup. Unable to finish. Nascimento vacuums it in. Brazil want to slow it down. Nascimento turns the corner. Stripped by Miles. Team USA suffocating defensively. Malchines. Stuelke. It's Blake's open for 3. That's off, and Dantes is going to chase it down. Bodies hitting the floor. That was Booker and Victoria.
And the refs are swallowing their whistle now, and so you wonder who can take advantage of that as USA goes 3 straight possessions with blocks.
And it was Stuelke that time defending on Cardoso. It leads to a layup for Edwards. Brazil with only 1 timeout remaining in this basketball game as we tick under 6:30 to play. They're going to have to figure it out on the court. Let's see if the experience of Brazil can pay off here. Victoria to the basket. She missed the layup. Blake's the float. It's there. No. In and out.
You wanted flow, Carlin. You got flow. You're going back and forth now, and both teams getting good looks.
Nascimento was fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. And right now, Brazil struggling to find some buckets. Just 3 points here in this period. And this is what this suffocating U.S. defense has done all tournament long. They kept Canada to just 5 points in the 4th quarter in the semifinals. They're doing the same here to Brazil. Nascimento, a really good free throw shooter at the line.
It's been a game of runs. They say that's what basketball is, but by definition, that's how the game has been so far, as USA has stolen the momentum from Brazil, and now they've got their star players back in it. Camila Cardoso looking to make a difference. It's tricky though. You got to be so careful not to pick up that final foul.
Olivia Miles walks into a jumper as Cardoso is stuck underneath the screen. 6 points and counting for Olivia. Gonzalo kicks in the corner. Nascimento in and out. Cardoso over the back. Gets the ball there. It's a blocking foul on Blake's.
I think that one could have gone either way, and so let's take another look at it. Yeah, Blake's not able to set her feet there, and Camila Cardoso.
You talk about physical basketball, that's what that is right there. Here's the last play here by Miles. So that foul will put Cardoso at the line, as they say it's in the act of shooting.
Cardoso, 7 from 9. 8 from 10. As I say that, 14 points in just over 12 minutes for her.
Blake's having the discussion with referee Fei Xiang right in front of us from Canada. Cardoso with 15 points. Miles attacking Gonzalo in front of her. Here's Blakes. She'll pull for two. Indeed. The basket opening up now for the Americans. Stolke fighting down low to keep Cardoso away from the block. Nascimento comes to the rock. Cardoso's going to set the screen for her. Cardoso on the catch and finish.
An impressive finish by Cardoso as she rolled, found herself a little too far under the basket when she caught that pass, but so skilled, and her touch is so pure under the hoop. She's still able to put it up, and if you're USA, you got to live with that one.
Miles getting too cute with the pass that time. Brazil comes up with a steal. Nascimento. Victoria waiting for the Cardoso screen. Stolke with the good hands. Miles will push. Edwards inside. Counted and the foul!
You know what, Carlin, that possession started on the defensive end. Hannah Stolke has her hands full on that one, and when she's able to deflect the ball, that motivates that team heading down the other way to get the and one opportunity. Joyce Edwards cashing out, or cashing in on how much they're letting that defense fuel their offense. And right now, it seems like all USA, 17-9 scoring in this fourth quarter.
Edwards completes the three-point play. Brazil with one time remaining in this game with 4:12. Meanwhile, Team USA has all three of their timeouts. Nascimento. Van Sluten steals the ball from Cardoso. She has to let her go. Largest lead of the game for the Americans. Gonzalo fires a pass to Dantas, who has been quiet in this quarter. Held scoreless. She gets an assist to Cardoso that time. Olivia Miles directing traffic here in the fourth. Michaela Blakes powering the offense. Turning the corner with 27 points, in this one. Blakes with 3 to shoot. Michaela Blakes over Dantas. Can't get that to drop. Shot clock violation. Good possession defensively that time for Brazil.
And look, the USA wanted so badly to attack Camila Cardoso that Joyce Edwards was kind of stuck in the key, body to body with her down there. And because of that, no one was really moving. So a stagnant offensive possession for USA leads to the turnover. On the other end, if you're Brazil, you want to continue to feed Camila Cardoso, and she's got 19 points right now. The last couple possessions have looked really easy for her when she's been able to get the positioning that she wants. And Hannah Stolke, not in right now, but she handled that defensive. Oh, she almost, sorry, did we jinx her there? She just fell and tripped on something in the huddle, but handled that defensive assignment like a real vet. And I was really impressed with the way that she was able to, 1, block her twice, but 2, just defend with her hands up and not make it easy for Camila Cardoso to get it. And look, Hannah Stolke she's a forward at the University of Iowa. She's a Big Ten Sixth Player of the Year back in 2023. That was her freshman season. And I say playing like a vet. She's still young. They're all so young, but veteran moves here. As you see, that's what happens when Camila Cardoso is able to pin her defender. That time, she pinned Grace Van Sluten right above the lob, wide open, and that's what Camila Cardoso can continue to do as we take a look at Hannah Hidalgo, who is going to make every offensive player for Brazil go through a little bit of hell as she doesn't give anybody any breathing room.
Victoria tripped and was lucky to get it over the timeline. Cardoso on the floor with Dantas, Victoria, Gonzalo, and this is Nascimento. Inside, Cardoso working on Van Sluten. Good footwork inside and able to Oh, she can't bank it in as Edwards pulls down the rebound. Miles with Hidalgo, Van Sluten, Edwards, and Smith. This is Miles. Bounce pass to Edwards inside. Got it to go over Cardoso.
You got to continue to attack her because she's either going to play a little bit coy like she did in that one because she doesn't want to pick up that foul, or she's going to get her foul. So either way, you're laughing. And that's worst case scenario for Team USA. If you're going to foul down low, especially someone as experienced as Damaris Dantas, as strong as Dantas, you can't let her get the and one opportunity. Watch how she gathers. Goes straight up. Hannah Hidalgo hanging off that left arm, and she's still able to finish.
Well, last Edwards finished there. Here's one free throw for Dantas. It's back to a 7-point advantage. 31 big points for Damaris Dantas in the final. She ties the tournament high as Ariela Girantes dropped 31 in pool play. Hidalgo hands to Miles. Miles weaving through traffic. 5 to shoot. Miles at the nail. Drops it 2.
Olivia Miles is almost never looking for herself. She's got 8 points tonight, but she's got 9 assists. And so when you're defending her, every other person's got to be glued to their offensive player.
Look at Edwards selling out to try and stop that bounce pass from going through. She gets called for the foul, but you love that effort.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get from Olivia Miles every time. I mentioned almost averaging a triple-double, and you don't do that just casually walking into the gym. She's an all-hard player. I like the substitution for the USA. You bring Hannah Stuelke back into the game, and Stuelke doing a really good job on the defensive end against Kamilla Cardoso. Only 2 fouls, so she's got a couple to play with here as she's got a really big defensive assignment with her, what did you call it, number mirror twin?
All of the above.
10 on 10.
Yeah. Dantas able to hit the second. Minute 50 remaining in this basketball game. Only 1 timeout for Brazil, 2 for Team USA. No fouls to give for the Americans. Brazil has a ton of fouls to give. And that's why Gonzalo is all over Hidalgo right now. Hidalgo in her bag. Can't get it to drop. And Dantas will push the other way. Victoria inside. Cardoso ripped by Miles. Olivia Miles skipping her way into the front court. And now turns back around.
That's a big stop for Team USA. You just steal the confidence away from Kamilla Cardoso as
Hidalgo turns the corner to the rim. Can't get it to drop. Stuelke with the rebound. But given away. Time running out on Brazil. Nascimento now. Wants some movement. Gets a screen from Victoria. Good switch. Smith. Hand all over the basketball. Victoria to the basket. Can't make the layup. Ball up for grabs. Who touched it last? It's staying here with Brazil. 41.8 seconds remaining in the final of the AmeriCup.
And now look, if you're Brazil, you're frustrated because you couldn't get a bucket on that, but you got to be more frustrated that you didn't get a bucket and you wasted a whole 24 seconds. You need a score with just 40 seconds left to go in the gold medal game here.
Dantas straight on threes there. Brazil looks like they're going to play straight up. Pokey Chapman saying you got a foul. Here comes the trap. Nascimento almost stole it. Miles eating clock here. Brazil not fouling, and they finally foul. 23.3 seconds remaining in the game. So much time ticking off the clock. 14 seconds of game time off the clock before that foul came, and they still have to do it again. It's only their second team foul here in this quarter.
And it's a 2-possession game, something to keep in mind. There's no magic 5-point play, and so Brazil's going to have to get it in their hands twice in the next 23 seconds.
Smith trying to inbound. Gets it to Hidalgo. Gonzalo all over her. Again, time ticking away. Gonzalo finally fouling. Another 5 seconds off the game clock there.
see Pokey Chapman in the top of your screen there saying, okay, do it again. Do it again. We got another one.
Got 2 more fouls to give here. That one coming quicker. Just 2 seconds coming off the clock. And there's the foul. It's going to put them in a penalty, and they'll send Hannah Hidalgo to the line.
Hidalgo is shooting 100% from the free throw line so far in this game. 5 for 5 to help with her 13 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. An all-around game for Hannah Hidalgo. She was the TCL player of the game yesterday in the semifinals. Now she'll have a chance to go to the line to extend the lead for Team USA.
Madison Booker checked into the game for Olivia Miles. Hidalgo's first free throw leaves the door open for Brazil. Brazil has 3-point shooters on the floor. You saw Damiris Dantes step out and knock down the 3. Gonzalo could hit it. So can Bella Nascimento, who is on fire from 3 here tonight. She has 24 points. So Brazil take their final timeout with 14.7 seconds remaining in this game. And you can hear the Americans who have made the trip down to Chile chanting the 3 letters, USA. In a 6-point game, are starting to feel themselves here in the final. A lot was made, Kelsey, of the youth here for Team USA and how that might impact them in this tournament. Average age of 20.4. They are playing one of the most experienced teams in this tournament, an average age of 26 years old, and a team that has a lot of returning players from the AmeriCup last time around. And Team USA is 14.7 seconds away from erasing all doubt and getting back atop the American mountain here in the Americas.
Yeah, you mentioned it. This is a team in Brazil trying to defend their title. 5 of those players in that roster return. A lot of them on the court right now for Team Brazil. And it's not over till it's over. 6 points is just 2 possessions. And like you said, they have some really good 3-point shooters on the court right now for them. Bella Nascimento is 5 for 8 from 3 so far in this one.
She's number 8 in white. Smith guarding her. Victoria will inbound. Dantes on the floor with Gonzalo, Cardoso, and Nascimento. Hidalgo, Van Sluten, Booker, Smith, and Stolke on the floor for the Americans. They go immediately inside. Nascimento from the corner for 3. It's not there. Hidalgo with the rebound. Gets out in the open floor. And Hannah Hidalgo will go to the foul line. That basket won't count. The foul was called way before that. And Team USA's bench starting to let some smiles break through as you see Michaela Blake's giving a bear hug to Hannah Stolke. And of course, coach is always going to coach. Kara Lawson saying, hey, it's not over.
Coach. No smiles from coach and no smiles from the players on the court. They know there's still a lot of work to be done as Hannah Hidalgo hits that first.
Gonzalo fouls out of the game with her 5th. What a tournament for Hannah Hidalgo. Sweet 16 points here in the final. Kaka Malchines trying to find her way in the front court. Hidalgo still defending her. Malchines at the horn. The Americans back on top of the America's mountain. They take the crown as queens of the AmeriCup in 2025 with a 92-84 victory over Brazil.
What a showing from Team USA. 7-0 in the tournament here, and they steal the crown from Brazil, who was so dominant in their win margins coming into this one through group play, through the knockout round. 2 WNBA players left their teams to be here, and Team USA didn't let that faze them as they take the 92-84 victory. And they did it by committee. A lot we talked about. You look at who scored. Michaela Blake's 27. Behind her, Hannah Hidalgo was 16 and 7. And then Almost every one of these players that you see in the blue jersey put points up on the scoreboard.
Coach Lawson hugging her coaching staff. She knows what it was like to win this event as a player, now getting the feeling as a head coach. And this might be the first time we've seen her smile all tournament long as she celebrates in the middle of her team. What a moment for Team USA and these future young stars. You'll see them play pro all over the world. Some of them will be in the WNBA. Some of them will be sprinkled throughout Europe and beyond. But tonight, they can celebrate as AmeriCup champions. Not bad for a bunch of college kids. Meanwhile, Brazil, a frustrating loss. Camila Cardoso was in foul trouble all night long. You see her leaving the court there, towel on her head. She had finished with 19 points, but the 4 fouls really slowed her down. And when she was out of the game, a lot was on the shoulders of Dominguez Dantas to try and carry the offense, and she did exactly that. 35 points in this one. That is a tournament high in terms of points in one single game. Pokey Chapman seeing Team USA celebrate, and she knew that they were a dangerous bunch. It was their defense that got it done in the end, as they were able to suffocate Canada in the semifinals, and then Brazil here in the finals, and able to win the AmeriCup. We'll have the trophy ceremony for you as they set up the stage. But right now, all pictures on your screen as Olivia Miles celebrates here. And she delivered, even despite having a slow start to this basketball game, where she even called to have been subbed out and replaced by Hannah Hidalgo. She finishes the game with 8 points, 9 assists in this one. And her big steal down low really sealed it defensively. Team USA walked through Chile on opening night here at the AmeriCup. They beat Colombia, beat Puerto Rico after Puerto Rico battled with them for the first half. That game was a 1-point game going into the halftime locker room, and then a 25-8 third quarter outburst by Team USA. And they were able to get past Puerto Rico in that one. Defeated Mexico, was not close at all. And then the Dominican Republic in the quarterfinal, and Canada gave them everything they wanted for 3 quarters. And Team USA was able to lock in defensively and get the win in that one, holding Canada to just 5 points in the 4th period. And here they are again, celebrating as AmeriCup champions. You see Kara Lawson with the fist bump, saying USA, USA, as she leaves and heads to the locker room to celebrate with her team. They'll be back out here in a moment to accept the trophy. The fans that have made the trip, and they are fired up for this young squad. Our TCL player of the game, Michaela Blakes. What a performance from her in the final, with 27 points, 6 rebounds. And how about her defense? The 2 steals. Feels like she had way more than just 2 steals. She was all over the court defensively.
Yeah, and she had those 2 steals in the first quarter. And so that's what set the tone for Michaela Blakes here today, as she contributes on the offensive end, the defensive end, and a well-deserved TCL player of the game. As we get to take a look at some of the top plays from this 4th quarter, a lot of it is going to be Team USA as they outscored Brazil in the final frame 27-18. You get a look, there's Michaela Blakes doing it from the perimeter. Almost had the steal there. She won't be credited with it. And there you go, she finishes at the rim. And there's that no smile from Kara Lawson. Last time we saw her, she was all smiles. Right here, it's all business, though, as Grace Van Slooten knocked it down, and that's a steal right there that stole the momentum, or the block, excuse me, that stole the momentum for Team USA. They went on to have 3 blocks in a row, possession after possession after possession. Kamilla Cardoso, the story for her will be foul trouble, though she ends with 19 points. Wasn't able to be the Kamilla Cardoso that we saw throughout this tournament due to the 4 quick fouls, but Michaela Blakes was the Michaela Blakes. What an MVP performance by her today. On the road to the gold medal here in Santiago, Chile, USA. So impressive. You said it, not bad for a couple college kids, a couple college stars.
Yeah.
When we go through the list, it's like, what awards have this one won? All of them have awards to their names, and that's another one. You can add an award to Kara Lawson, a gold medal here at the 2025 FIBA AmeriCup.
So Michaela Blakes will get presented with her TCL Player of the Game here with a fantastic performance in the finals. We talked about her scoring outbursts in the NCAA. Another scoring outburst here in Santiago, Chile. 27 big points for Team USA as Michaela Blakes will accept the award right there from Lainey Romero, the marketing performance manager at TCL. And Michaela Blakes, your TCL Player of the Game in the finals of the FIBA Women's AmeriCup in 2025.
She got it done when it mattered most. Michaela Blakes entered this game averaging just 12 points per game. What an outburst for her, for 27 in the game that earns her team that #1 spot here at the tournament.
They'll celebrate with the trophy in a moment. Team USA will. We'll see Canada also get their bronze medals. We'll have the All-Star Fives and the tournament MVP. You can stick with us to watch it all unfold here in Santiago, Chile. Another thing of note for Team USA, they now get the direct bid to the World Cup in 2026 in Germany by winning this tournament. So while some of these college kids, and probably all of them, might not make up that World Cup team, the WNBA stars that will make up that World Cup team are very grateful that they don't have to go through the FIBA qualifying tournament next spring to get to the World Cup. So that's a big check mark for an entire program for the 12 that came here on a mission to capture that thing right there.
Yeah, and if you're some of those WNBA players and you're watching, supporting Team USA, I hope you're texting those girls in the locker room right now to, 1, say congratulations, but 2, say thank you.
Yeah.
Just made my life a little bit easier.
Host Germany have obviously punched their ticket for the World Cup. Belgium, who won Eurobasket in dramatic fashion, by the way, coming back against Spain after they were down by double digits with 3 minutes remaining in the final, are through to the World Cup. Now Team USA will head to the World Cup from the Americas region. We still have Women's Asia Cup coming up in the middle of this month. And then at the beginning of August, AfroBasket will happen. And those 2 tournaments will produce 2 more qualifiers for the FIBA Basketball Women's World Cup. All the top 6 teams from this tournament right here, outside of, well, including Team USA, will participate in the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournament. The USA have already punched their tickets, so they don't really have to worry about performing well there. You know they're going to want to kind of warm up and get ready to perform well at the World Cup, because you don't really have too much time with the national team in every event. They're so spaced out. There's Team Canada, the bronze medal winners. They did it in dramatic fashion here with a buzzer-beating victory over Argentina in double overtime. Silas Swords finishing a layup off of an inbound. And that is the reason why they'll be able to wear the bronze medal around their neck. Callan, the former FIBA Americas president. Able to hand out these bronze medals. There is Sella Swords, one of the All-Star 5 in this tournament. And played well for Team Canada. And she finished the bronze medal game with a huge game-winning basket when it mattered most.
Yeah, and she finishes the tournament averaging just under 10 points per game to go along with almost 5 rebounds. And we're fresh off watching this player right here, Hannah Hidalgo. What a game and what a tournament we had from her, as she ends almost with a triple-double, but 12 points per game for Hannah Hidalgo, to go along with almost 5 rebounds, and I think that's the most impressive part.
Dominguez Dantes also part of the All-Star 5 here at the AmeriCup. The big output in the finals, 35 points. No one scored more in a single game than her at the AmeriCup. And by the way, second all-time in AmeriCup scoring is Dominguez Dantes. That stat being kept since 03. Camila Cardoso also part of the All-Star 5. Those two twin towers were terrific for Team US, for Brazil. Cardoso with the 4 fouls in the final.
And Cardoso,
tough one for her, and you see her.
Yeah, I'd be emotional too. I'd be emotional too. She ends the tournament averaging a double-double, 14 points, 11 rebounds, and what an impact for her team. And you saw just how big an impact she makes on this team and how special it is for her. I can't watch this. It's going to make me emotional, but she's a big part of this team, Team Brazil. And so those tears are, 1, proud of her play, and 2, you know, upset that she's fresh off that loss. They came here to defend their championship.
FIBA America's president Fabian Boro handing out the Tissot Tournament MVP to the last remaining member of the All-Star 5, Michaela Blakes. 27 big points in the final to help Team USA get back atop the AmeriCup mountain. And we could talk about her points, but it's also her defense that was a breakthrough here in this tournament for Carol Lawson's bunch.
Yeah, 12 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and like Carlin said, 2 steals per game, but her intensity makes it feel like it's a whole lot more than 2 steals, and you saw just how much of an impact she makes on this championship team.
So some current WNBA stars flanked by some future WNBA stars, as Swords, Hidalgo, and Blakes will return to college next season. Cardoso and Dantes will return to the WNBA next week. And I'm sure they'll be joined by those 3 players and 3 great guards at some point in the pro ranks. So now time for the medal presentations here in Santiago, Chile. And the Federation President of Chile on your screen right there will hand out the bronze medals to Canada. So Team Canada winning bronze for the 2nd time at the AmeriCup in a row.
And there's their leader, Kayla Alexander. Has been such a good vet, as well as Shea Colley there. We saw get injured in that one, but sending out the vets first as they go back-to-back bronze medals. A really impressive finish here for Team Canada.
It was a thrilling double overtime victory over Argentina, who battled throughout that basketball game. And Silas Swords coming up with a big bucket with less than 2 seconds remaining in the game and helped Canada keep their top 3 position here in the Americas.
We talked about how the American team full of college kids right now isn't necessarily the same lineup that they're going to have in the World Cup. And you look at this Canadian roster and you might sub out a couple, but for a majority of that team, that's going to be the returning roster. And so high expectations moving forward for this Team Canada team, and as their chemistry just really continues to go. And you can see better and better every game they played here, and they come out with some good hardware to take back to North America.
Their former college coach just there on the screen, Carly Clark, getting her bronze medal. The assistant coach for Team Canada, Nell Fortner, in her first tournament at the helm for Team Canada, able to leave with a medal, standing on the podium as Canada celebrate here with their 3rd place finish at the AmeriCup in 2025.
It's so different ending on a win, right? Like, we see all the smiles from Team Canada here, who had a huge victory, a really exciting victory, won that in double overtime, like you said, and now we're going to get a team that is taking home the 2nd place medal, but fresh off a loss. I think we're going to see a couple of red faces, but nothing to hang your head at if you are Team Brazil, as they're about to take the stage here and get their well-deserved medals.
Vizio Castro, the director of National Sports Institute of Chile, joined by Carlos Alves. And they'll hand out the medals for Brazil. There's Carlos Alves, executive director in the Americas. Brazil making their way out of the tunnel after suffering a very tough defeat, 92-84 to Team USA, unable to defend their crown. And this is a weird feeling for Brazil. They've won gold 6 times at the AmeriCup. This is now the 5th time they've won silver. And in their 17th appearance at the AmeriCup, to walk away with their 15th medal is pretty impressive.
Now Team Brazil going into this one 6-0 in this tournament, but 14 straight at the AmeriCup as they were looking to defend their crown. Yeah, we're about to pan over to Camila Cardoso, who's still got tears in her eyes there, but Team USA stopped that 14-game winning streak for Brazil. Like I said, nothing to be sad about in this one. They've represented their country so well. It was a hard-fought battle, and they showed dominance throughout the tournament. Played their hearts out. They're still going home with a really impressive finish here at the AmeriCup.
There's a look at Team USA waiting patiently in the tunnel for their chance to walk through the tunnel and get their gold medals. And Brazil now getting some respect from the crowd here in Chile as they exit and maybe have inspired the next generation of Brazilian basketball player.
Right there.
Right there.
Stamp it.
So the champs will now make their way through the tunnel. An unblemished record for Team USA here in the Americas. A very young team, just 20.4 is the average age of Team USA. And they were able to get past Chile, Colombia, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Canada, and eventually Brazil. The last two in the knockout stage, Brazil in the finals and Canada in the semifinals. It was defense that was able to power them to this championship. And you see the captain come through first. And Joyce Edwards, Flau'jae Johnson, superstar in the college ranks. Olivia Miles, there's still a sign out there that says, "I love Olivia Miles" in the crowd. I think many people at home do as well. Hannah Hidalgo, one of the All-Star Fives, and followed by Michaela Blinks, the All-Star Five and MVP of the tournament. Madison Booker, her defense impressive throughout. Gianna Neekins shot over 50% from the field coming into this game. How about Hannah Stuelke? How tough was she having to guard Camila Cardoso throughout in this contest? Especially down the stretch, coming up with a big block to gain momentum. Smith as well defensively. She came up with a big block against Canada down the stretch.
You know, you're seeing Reagan Beers here. I actually took the flight over with her, and I was eavesdropping because that's what I do. And I heard her say she was looking forward to the matchup with her and Camila Cardoso. And so this was a really fun one to watch. And I mean, she took 5 fouls, but each of those fouls helps the team move forward and eventually win. And so happy for this American team as they come out here and you see the coaching staff now ready to get those medals.
Kara Lawson on this event as a player, now as a coach, her assistant coach right there. Delisha Milton-Jones also won this player as a teammate, won this tournament as a teammate of Kara Lawson, and now doing it as part of the coaching staff here in Chile. And Team USA, the champions of the FIBA Women's AmeriCup, all smiles. So many stars right there on your screen as we stand now for the national anthem.
Muchísimas gracias. Y es momento de darle la bienvenida al resto de la delegación.
And now all that's left is a presentation of the FIBA AmeriCup trophy. As Team USA take the traditional gold medal picture, the staff will join them now on the stage. And they also get medals here, unlike the Olympics. Coaching staff and support staff also get medals here at the FIBA AmeriCup. The Olympics only get the players. Well, we don't. We didn't play.
Aww.
Yeah, we missed out. Our time has passed. It's all about the players on the screen this time. One final picture, and now the trophy will be presented. Excuse me, to the champions of the AmeriCup. Joyce Edwards will accept it as the captain for Team USA. And She'll bring it over to her squad and celebrate on the podium here in Santiago, Chile. Ten teams dreamed about it. Only one could celebrate. Your Americans stand on top of the Americas once again as champions in 2025. Red, white, and blue confetti falling here on top of our champions in 2025. And Kara Lawson, who got it done as a player, can now say she got it done as a head coach. And these young stars can now add an AmeriCup gold medal to their resumes. One final pose here for the champions in Santiago, Chile. And pictures that will last a lifetime for your undefeated AmeriCup champions in 2025. It's been a fantastic tournament here in Santiago, Chile. They've been incredible hosts to myself, my partner Kelsey Wright Johnson, our other partner Amy Audibert, all of the FIBA support staff, the entire crew here at FIBA Media, our truck, producers, all the cameramen and women, sound technicians. They've treated us well here in our time in Santiago, Chile, and we will leave with great memories from 8 days and 32 games of basketball here at the AmeriCup, and look forward to the next edition in 2027. So Team USA, queens of the AmeriCup once again here in 2025, dethroning Brazil in the finals. For my partner Kelsey Wright Johnson, Amy Audibert, I'm Carlin Gay. We will see you so soon and so long from Santiago, Chile.